If this is your first time to the channel, please do so. Make sure that you're subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications so that way you don't miss another video like this one coming your way. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. It does help this channel grow. Please feel free to leave a comment. We do get back to all of our comments. This video is not intended for children under the age of 17 years old. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of MOE'S Tour. Come from Mom Tours, and today, here we go folks, just in time for the Jason universe. Here we have some Neca Friday the 13th Part 2. I get it, it's been out for a little while, but I have not unboxed this, believe it or not, on my channel yet. So if you look down below, you can see that I have unboxed plenty of Jasons. You're gonna have to really look if you're a huge Jason fan. I've even given you a tour of my collection, and at the end of this video I'm going to give you another tour of my Jason collection in case you missed it the first time around. So over the weeks I've been doing like some collection showings and everything else, so alright folks, please bear with us. Here we have some Neca Friday the 13th Part 2. The body count continues. Beautiful poster art right there on the front. That was what you would see back in the day when this movie first came out. They would advertise this. This would actually be the very first appearance of Jason. We all know that in Friday the 13th, the original, the killer is his actual mother. So Pamela Voorhees. We have also unboxed and reviewed her action figure on this channel and is down below. Alright, so here you can see the side. See what happened, what the deal is with this figure is I actually NECA Real Toys Friday the 13th Baghead Jason. I actually had this put away and I forgot that I even had it, and I wasn't planning on unboxing it, but due to the fact that all my other Jasons are unboxed yeah, I had no place for this one to be left in the box. It needed to be in the collection. So there you have it. There you have the back right there. You can see Pamela Voorhees' head with sweater and candles on the very back. You can see unbaghead Jason, baghead Jason, baghead Jason right there. Another one with spear and knife. All right, and then this one has a machete. All right, so this Ultimate Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason, it says Miss Voorhees is dead. And Camp Crystal Lake is shut down, but the camp next to the infamous place is stalked by the unknown assailant. Okay, there you have it, folks. Pardon me if it sounds like I, making mistakes on that, but yeah, I have my glasses on, but I'm just having trouble as of late seeing. Don't know what's going on. All right, so this set includes machete, pitchfork, pickaxe, knife, spear, campfire, Pamela Voorhees head, and interchangeable Jason heads. There you have it, folks. All right. So there you have the other side. This figure came out around the time when they were retailing for anywhere between $26 and $28 or $29.99. Now I believe they're up quite a bit, and even places are even charging tariffs, which is crazy. Okay, but there you have it. All right, so I'm not going to get into that whole tariff situation because I am not a fan of it. All right, so here we have Jason right here, how he could look with the right diorama. You can see right there, and then right here you can see Jason Voorhees amongst his plastic prison. So here you have Jason kicking back behind his window of pain, locked in his plastic prison, as he finally made it here amongst the rest of the Jason figures, and he will be added to the collection today. So there you have the interchangeable heads. You got Pamela Voorhees' head. You got a campfire right there. You're going to throw that fire on. You got pickaxe, machete, and pitchfork. There you have it, folks. All right, folks. First off, tail of the tape. Jason is checking in to the very top of his bag head right there, and I got him leaned over a little bit just to get him to stand. 7.5 inches. So if you're wondering what version of this baghead Jason this is the first version that NECA did an Ultimate, I believe. I know that they did a re-release on this. I don't know if the clothes were darker or what it was. But when I actually bought this a few years back, I bought it from some guy that was collecting them at the time, and he decided to sell his collection, and he sold me this, I remember, for about 20 bucks. So yeah, there you have it there. So, and I'm barely getting around to reviewing it now. It is all original, 100%. Yeah, or else I'm not going to mess with it at all. But all right, folks, so if you look at the price of toys today, that is the big question. Are you guys going to continue collecting with the prices going up? They're trying to use the inflation and the tariffs to jack up the rates. Everything going on in the world right now is really affecting us as toy collectors. And I know that that is just a very small part of what's actually going on. But just to show you, even that small part is affecting even toy collectors and toys and Christmas and a lot of things that's coming. So let me know your thoughts on that. I mean, you don't have to share them, but I mean, if you are concerned with being a collector and you're like, if I was to buy this toy today off the NECA shop, because I'm going to tell you, I am pre-ordered on the brand new H2O Michael Myers. I'm pre-ordered on the brand new Samurai Predator, the brand new Art the Clown, the Ultimate. And I think there might be something else in there. And then I also have the Mezco 112 scale Art the Clown coming. And I have something else coming from, a Living Dead doll of Art the Clown coming from. That's from Big Bad Toy Store. But the other pre-orders with the H2O Michael Myers, the Predator, and the Art the Clown Ultimate is straight from NECA. And I'm going to tell you, with tax and tariff fee, these figures directly from NECA are coming in over $50. So yes, it's a big price tag. So even if they say $34.99 or whatever on their website, by the time they add shipping, that tariff fee and tax on top of that, these figures are coming out each at over $50. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Big Bad Toy Store will, if you buy a few of these or whatever, they will give you that $4 shipping rate on a whole bundle lot. I believe that's the way that they used to do it. Don't hold me to that, but I think that that offer still stands today, and he might still be available on their website, but I think the one they got might be a re-release. So it looks exactly the same, but I think the paint might be a little bit different or darker or shinier. I don't know, because I don't own that figure. I own this one. All right, folks. So here you have the campfire. It looks like real wood. Sorry to have gave you some of that chat right there. And you have the bottom. It will sit. It looks like it got real rock. It's kind of bendy a little bit. Not really too bendy, but kind of hard. But these are very plasticky, but they look very woodish. And I believe it brings a fire right here. But I believe that you could just post that fire on there and it clips. So there you have it there. There's your campfire, folks. So, all right, we're going to move that aside. We're going to check it out. There is Jason's head. Pardon my fingers if you see cuts and bruises and everything. It's just my line of work. You know, pinches. Yeah, that's what I have to do for a living. I work with my hands. And you can see his head, how it is somewhat deformed. Looks like he's kind of missing an ear right there on that one side. Like the deformities are just going over. Yeah, this is a crazy head sculpt. I mean, yeah, this is some of the early NECA stuff. So, not early NECA stuff, but yeah. I believe for the Ultimates it is. So, there you have it there. Alright, and then you got Miss Pamela Voorhees. This old hag right here still on everybody's mind. That's where it all started. Now they got the Camp Crystal Lake series getting ready to start. And it will be about Pamela Voorhees, more or less. And Jason, I believe, will be small. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to maybe they'll give us spoilers as to who his father is or whatever it is. I don't know, but I'm excited to see it. So there you have it there. Then you have the spear. He has a very long spear. Very bendy. It will break. These will break and can be chewed off. You do not want any child or your pets getting a hold of this. Then we also have the pitchfork. This looks pretty damn good, but I don't know how many pitchforks I have and machetes from Jason. So yeah, bendy material, kind of. Then you have a really cool looking just butcher knife. You definitely don't want to swallow this. It's very pokey, but yeah, bendy. Got all the wood finish and everything on the handles. You can even see the way that it has that solid like steel that runs through it, and the handles are mounted on each side. So yeah, there it is. You even have that little sharp edge on there. So Neca did a good job with this. I mean, this is early on. Then you got the what this particular figure is known for. So when I pose him in the collection, he's going to be posed with this pickaxe, because this is what he had before the machete was like the thing, right? Although the machete is the one that decapitated his mama. So there you go. And that too, folks, is very pokey, and it's a lot harder than everything else. So yeah, this can definitely take an eye out or whatever and break, and it would be a mean choking hazard or eye taker out and everything else. I mean, this sucker's sharp. All right, then you have what Jason would be known for in the future as the machete. There you go, with the wood finish grain. It has some blood on it. It has a different edge to it versus having the other style of machete, but this would be the part 2 machete, so that's how you could tell them apart. Also, that steel finish throughout, and it's kind of bendy, so there you go. All right, so here we have Jason right here. Let me get up a little bit closer to him, and you're wondering what's behind him. So that is a diorama that is also included, so it would look like that. And sorry folks if you hear like a ringing noise on video. It is my fan, because I refuse to put the AC on, and it's a 100-degree day today. So I'm using fan because the AC is very, very expensive, and it adds up at the end of the month. And yeah, the AC is going to have to remain off. Got the windows open, got fans blowing, so I think we're good there. All right, so here we go. We are going to give him a turn. You can see how he looks right there. Kind of starting to lean a little forward there. Yeah. There you have it. And right there you go. There's our Jason. All right, yeah, I got to get him to lean a little bit just to, if you can see him. I will try and get a little up close with them for you can see that. He does have an eyeball that is poking through there. You may not think that it's there, but if you look real good, pause the video a little bit and kind of zoom in, you can see that it's there. You can see the flannel that he has on and everything else, his overalls down to his shoes. That is something like the big question. I know that it would be one of the questions if I was able to ask, even though I met CJ Graham in person and Ken Kersinger, okay, from Jason vs. Freddy, there was one question that I failed to ask him, and that is, why does Jason, even when he's coming back from the grave and dead, he always has a really nice pair of boots on? And you know, it like, come on, man. I mean, if you're coming back from the dead, don't you think? But this Jason's still human. But I mean, the other Jasons, after like part 4, when he starts to come back from the dead, how is it that his shoes are always super different, and they're always like combat boots, never like tennis shoes or whatever it is, you know? And how in the hell does he track people down so fast? This Jason was able to run. So was the Jason from part 3. So But as far as the part 4 and up, I mean, this fool would just come out and he would just pop out and just kill you. I mean, there's a lot of questions to be asked. All right, folks. So it is review time. So arms do go up, hit 90. This is going to be a quick one because you guys have already seen this. Head will go all the way around. You can get him to hit that Michael Myers a little bit. That's something that he turned his head on. He turned his head like that when the final girl put his mother's sweater on and she acted like his mom, and he did that, and then he saw the actual machete, and then whack. Okay. Right here he does have some waist swivel and rotation at the waist. His jumpsuit is a soft molded plastic, so if you are wondering, you can see right there. So I'm sure over time this is going to just decay out, but I mean, that's going to have to be plenty of years. All his flannel right here is also all hard plastic, molded plastic, so his hands do have hinge work and they move around properly. Very nice figure. I really wish I would have reviewed this one when I first got it. His hips, don't lie, they are a little stiff. And then you could get him to go there. Get him to go there. And this is like early NECA when like the legs were popping out of joints. So I got to watch it. So with this one and everything. So yeah, you can get a good kick on him. Not really that good of a kick, but I just don't want to push the issue. And then if you look behind, he does have rotation, swivel, whatever you want to call it, on a single joint, which you can get like that. Other leg is the exact same way. You know, you could probably get him to do that new float run that all the kids are doing nowadays. All right. And then he also has some rotation at the boot area. And if I'm missing anything, folks, I am terribly sorry, but I do like the way that the boots are settled into the actual pant leg, so that way it hides all the joints in there. So I do actually love that, because I know companies like McFarlane with some of the superheroes will leave that big old joint just sticking out, and to me, I think that it takes away from the figure. So but with NECA just always brings it and they deliver. So there you have it, folks. And as far as the diaper look, this guy really doesn't have it too bad. So he is an overall really, really nice figure. But I just got to figure out a way to get him to stand to where he's going to stand on his own without being blown over from the fan. All right, folks. So here he is with spear in hand. There you go. I will throw the campfire right behind him for you to check that out, because obviously that's going to be right where it goes. Nice campfire set, I will say. So I think that when I bought this off of the guy back in the day for 20 bucks, I think I got a pretty good deal, folks. I got to apologize to you guys for reviewing this very late, but I want to put up a single on this channel. I do want to put up a single area with all my Jason, Michael Myers, and all for that way you can just click on Jason and watch all the Jason videos. So, all right, folks. So here he is with pitchfork in one hand and knife the other hand. I went gangster on this guy right here and put the knife coming out through the bottom the way that Michael Myers would have. I think that looks more fierce and kind of a way to where when it's like this, you really don't see it. But when it's coming up and you're looking down, it looks just so ferocious in a lot of the Hollywood shots in these movies. So I could clearly see why they decided to give Michael that kind of persona of holding the knife that way. But I decided to put him here on this Jason like this, and I do like that look. Especially for the baghead Jason, that really fits him right there. So here is Jason again with one of the first machetes that he will hold that will spark off a whole franchise of what he is known for holding is the machete. So one thing good about this figure that I failed to mention, he is on a double jointed elbow, and you can get it to rotate at the elbow. So there you go, folks. Super cool. Is that a double? No, single joint. Sorry, folks. Single jointed elbow, and you could get either arm to rotate like that right there at the elbow. So, yeah, that really works, and you could really position this Jason to look super cool and very ferocious. I mean, with that eyeball sticking out, that is just scary. All right, folks, so here is Jason Voorhees with this alternate head, what he would look like underneath the mask. There you go. No wonder he wears a mask. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he was born today, if his handicap would have been frowned upon the way that it was back in those days. But I mean, if it wasn't frowned upon and the way he was, then we may not have Jason till today. But since he's been frowned upon and bullied and everything else, and watched his mother get beheaded, and then his mother always sticking up for him because the camp counselors were always screwing their way and everything else and going to camp for all the wrong reasons and not the right ones, like watching over her poor Jason and watched him drowned. There you go, folks. So I summed that one up pretty fast for you. So that's what happened. And then the Madman was born shortly after and would spark off one of the greatest horror movie slashers of all time. All right, folks. So we are getting ready to take it home because this is the way that my Jason will be posed in the collection amongst all the other Jasons, what you call his brothers, all his brothers. They are all the same. So Pamela Voorhees gave birth to many versions of Jason. Even on her deathbed, that woman was just putting out different versions of him. Give it up for Pamela Voorhees, man. I mean, wow. So just give it up to her. So anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing and review. Sorry it is so late. Of the Friday the 13th Part 2 Baghead Jason. So yeah, this is, I don't even think that they were even writing Ultimate on this box set back then, and then the Ultimate would come on maybe a little bit later. That's something that you would have to take up with Neca. And if Neca is watching this, you can also comment and let me know as to why this one does not have Ultimate anywhere on the box. So there you go. Let me just do a double check to see. Yes, there is no Ultimate, nothing, just nothing. And he knocks over, folks. So let me just stand him up really quick. Our cool looking Jason right here. This dude is so kick-ass. I am really liking this figure, folks. And his fire went out. And his ass, he just blew out his own fire. So there you go. Oh, there you go. All right. So yeah, I'll have to rearrange that. The fire's kind of leaning close to him, so it's kind of probably burning his ass. So, all right, folks. So like as promised, we're going to take a view at the Jason collection right now. And at the very, very end of this video, I do want to talk about the Tom Savini Ultimate Jason that NECA is putting out. So are you going to get that one? I believe they're going to have one on display to see over at San Diego Comic-Con. But I know here in this household, we are diehard Jason. He is hands down my favorite slasher for any horror movie genre. He is my favorite. But I will be owning that Tom Savini Jason. The moment it is released, I will pick one up and unbox it here on this channel. Everything I told you I am pre-ordered on, you will see those unboxings on this channel. And we are returning back to the toy hunt. So I'm collecting myself, getting my head going and everything right, making sure that the family's okay. And once everything works out, the toy hunts will begin, folks. And it's Halloween season, and we will also be hitting them Spirit Halloweens and everything else that come along with it, haunts and all the other stuff here on this channel. Let's check it. Let's take a look at my Jason collection. Alright folks, so there is our Jason, safe and sound. So yes, he is amongst his brothers. All the evolutions of Jason that you can see. I do not own everything, but I am trying to get my way little by little towards doing that. And then, yeah, I just purchased another one like him, but the baghead version, Friday. Even though they're the same, but still, I could have the variants. Got my little bobblehead. There is the first two. You have the Pamela Voorhees there. It came in the 25th anniversary set. Then you have the Pamela Ultimate. Then I also have an autographed mask there. We have the Jason vs. Freddy full set. You can see the little Jason vs. Freddy down there. It has all the flames, everything, all the weapons, everything is all there. Have that bigger Jason right there, which I absolutely love. That is one of the first pieces that I did buy after the original Movie Maniac from McFarlane came out. Got a Jason there. And you're wondering why Hatchet is in there, because I consider Hatchet kind of like a Jason, because Kane Hodder played him, and I get that feel from him. And then we also have the 3 3/4 inch Jason, which is very expensive to own. So we have that. I will scroll back down here, show you some more of the Jasons all over again in case you missed. This is the Jason that started it all, folks. That one right there, the one from McFarlane. So the Jason Goes to Hell, and when they came out, trust me, I was there in Toys R Us and got the Michael Myers and the Freddy along with it. So I also have the glow-in-the-dark Jason right there, and I also have the game, and those also go with that Jason that's in the box back there. And I also have the game mask. I also have this Jason, this Mezco MDS, and I also have another one in a package. Also, I have the ornament of Jason. I got like that Masters of the Universe looking Jason. I got my another Jason mask right there that is very, very expensive. That is from part 7. So there you go. Got the glow-in-the-dark Jason. Got the autographed Jason right there in the back from CJ Graham. That dude was awesome to me. And then we also have these Cinema of Fear 2 Jason sets. I also have a Jason head back there. And I also have a custom mask, which is also signed by Ken Kersinger from Jason vs. Freddy. And I also have a little Jason horror. I also have these masks right here from NECA. I gotta hang this up on the wall. I just recently bought the stuff for it. So let me work my way back up. I do have some Funko Pops. There's that Jason, in case you guys have been following me on my Jason journey. I found him. I found him and my Michael Myers. You can see over here. And I also found my Freddy. So yes, they were all in the same box together. I got the imposter Jason right there. I got the baghead. And there is that MDS in a box still. I also remember buying him. He is also from Mezco because he came with those two. So bought them all at the same time. And then let me move this out the way. So I also have the Camp Crystal Lake Deluxe box set. And you're wondering who is that big guy right in the back? That is like a 2-foot tall Jason from Jason Lives. So there you have it, folks, right there. So in the last video, I forgot to show you guys this. I also have that underhead right there with that Jason mask, but I've been waiting to get a really nice custom to put on this particular head, because that's what I did with the other version of this one that came out from Ruby's when NECA took over. They re-released these, so it was a pretty cool head sculpt, but I want to get a really nice part 3 mask, custom though, to go with it, because that's kind of what I did with that mask over there, because that's one of them. So I had that mask made for that one, and I want to do the same for this one. Alright folks, so hopefully you enjoyed this review of my Friday the 13th Part 2 Ultimate Jason action figure from NECA. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that it was going into my collection, so that's why I unboxed and reviewed it. So yeah, now it's just a waiting game. Another pre-order I forgot to mention that we do have pre-ordered is the Leatherface poster version, where he's kind of like in a baby blue. So you could check that out. The box is like going to be white and so on, but you could go on to NECA, the NECA store, and also pre-order one yourself. So they're going to pay some money for them nowadays, oh folks, so just letting you know. But in case you don't want to pick that up, you want to see more about it, I will unbox and review them the moment I get them in here on this toy room, and the toy hunts will continue. We'll restart within the next few weeks, and we will be hitting up some Halloween spots coming up soon, folks. All right, folks, so please like, comment, subscribe, and from Moe's Toy Room to yours, good night.